In Weisler Auditorium on Tuesday afternoon, the master plan was announced by President Lovell and steering committee leader Laura Striggins. The master plan is going to determine the future of Marquette for the next 10 to 20 years.
From the input we get from you, we're going to determine what the highest needs are for the campus, which will help us define how we roll out the master planning process, which buildings and which spaces we need to redesign and build first. And that is something that, again, it's a community that's going to decide that.
We'll be tying together the academic and student life vision for our campus, the physical considerations about how our facilities perform, how our infrastructure performs, and what types of space we need to support the type of institution we want to be.
Canon Design was introduced as the design consultant for the master plan. Canon Design was selected for their expertise, speed, and experience with Jesuit universities, according to Striggins.
We want to understand how you use your space, what do you need, what do you think about in the future. And we also will be bringing things to you in terms of trends and what we're seeing kind of out across the nation. That will also impact student housing. That's something we really would like to talk to you about.
There are some priority initiatives that have been identified. There are things that we know we are making an investment in. We've talked about the nationally recognized Athletic Performance Research Center. We know that that is going to be a part of our master plan efforts. We know that student housing and student life is a big part of what we're doing. Global water is something that's already underway. We've talked about presence at Innovation Campus. Those are initiatives and ideas that have been put out there by the leadership of this institution that we know will be a part of what we do in this master plan process. We now have to look at, okay, well, what does that mean in terms of physical space, and where does it go, and how do we address it? So I think that's what I would share in terms of what I understand of our priorities today.
Canon Design will work with the Master Plan Committee on assessing where Marquette needs to improve.
Recycling and initiatives to how buildings are constructed, to how energy is used, to how transportation and the alternative transportation. So I think this is, in some ways, a very critical component because it sets forth a series of initiatives that this institution will undertake for the next decade in terms of best practices and best uses to leave the world in a better place for future generations.
The master plan is only in the discovery phase. No projects will be announced anytime soon. In the coming months, the Master Plan Committee will release any findings on their website. From Weisler Auditorium, I'm Patrick Thomas, the Marquette Wire.